Chapter 3. The End of an Era. Everyone moved to the bridge of the Kamedake and began preparations. Everyone except Sito and Kariko were seated and working on an operation. Fuku was in a fixed position in the center. The Kamedake has confirmed the position of the Mizuki unit. Both of their mental states are stable. In the Jurian dock, the Kamedake and Mizuki were arranged side by side. Arrangement completed, all green. Everything is ready. Minaho reported on the other side of the monitor, and everyone's eyes turned towards Sito. Synchronization start. Maya, Mizuki-chan, we're starting. Please calm down. Kariko spoke to Mizuki. The crystal on Fuku's forehead began to pulse with the rhythm of neurofluence began on Mizuki's bridge. We're getting data now. Fuku and Mizuki's personal data was displayed on a pair of rectangular monitors on the bridge. Hey, what? Is this a joke? A number of abnormalities were displayed with tremendous speed. Those who understood their meaning were staring, transfixed. Amazing. It's the first time I've seen such personalized data broken up to this extent. It only goes to prove that the Kamedake and the Imperial trees are advanced living organisms. It seems their compatibility is also quite good. The small monitors were packed side by side on the bridge, and then they finally finished their display. A spatial distortion has occurred in the crystal plate. Distortion rate is rising. The Mizuki unit has started moving. A hole opened in the Kamadeke's plate-like crystal. It gradually expanded, and the Mizuki unit began to be pulled in. The Mizuki unit has merged. There are no abnormalities. Glink. A loud sound was made, and a strip-shaped pair of monitors started linking. Gunk. Glink. Glink. Data. The conjoining accelerated quickly. Synchronization has begun. Stabilizing mental waveforms. Amplitude is increasing. Energy spill is increasing. From the Mizuki unit, nerve lights were released like crazy towards the Kamedake. The monitors began to make intense movements. Mayan. Mayamamo Mu. Fuku is also breathing heavily. Her pulse rate is rising. Energy vibrations have increased. There's distortion in space. The energy pressure released from the Kamedake and the Mizuki unit and shook the huge dock. What's going on? Minaho screamed. And then, an emergency earthquake bulletin was issued along with the sound. Wow, the entirety of Tenju is shaking. Oh no, this is serious. Sito looked up to the sky. An accurate earthquake forecast was possible in this age. It could predict almost exactly when an earthquake would happen over the next tens of thousands of years. However, the earthquake shaking Tenju was an unexpected and sudden thing which couldn't have been predicted by anyone. The people of Tenju were surely surprised. The limit value is exceeded. Please hold on to something. Cancel the fusion. Please wait. Kariko interrupted Sito. Mizuki. Fuku-chan. Calm down. Kariko's shouting voice stopped the shaking. Oh! Everyone looked confused. Geez, the two of them nearly broke the dock. Kariko let out a big sigh. Sito-sama, both ships have stabilized. Phew. I forgot that they're both children, Sito said with a wry smile. I'm sorry. I should have known. In other words, that was just from the two of them going a bit crazy with playful energy at being united. That's what caused the tremor. Amain looked at Fuku with a shaky face. Meow. Fuku, it's all right. Kariko isn't angry anymore. Seina lifted Fuku and stroked her to calm her down. Sorry. Please stay calm. You can play together when you're finished. Kariko gently smiled at Mizuki's voice. Okay. Are both of you okay? Seina and Kariko nodded to Sito's question. Okay, then let's resume. Sito signaled. The link was smoothly restarted without the previous troubles this time. Everything's going well. The monitors concluded consolidation and disappeared one after another. The Mizuki unit has entered the subspace of the Kamedake. There are no fluctuations or distortions, it's stable. Mizuki unit storage completed. A connected network with the Kamedake is being configured. A pattern like a vine appeared on the crystal plate of the Kamedake. Distortion detection rate of all systems is 0.000012. It's stable and in an advanced state. This goes far beyond the forecasted figures calculated from data with the Mikagami. Amazing. Sito sighed, and in a few seconds all monitors disappeared. It was over. Synchronization errors not detected. Systems all green. No abnormalities can be seen at all. Phew. Seina and Kariko breathed out at the same time. Fuku, Mizuki-chan, thank you for your cooperation. Are there any abnormalities? From here we can hardly detect any output fluctuations. Things seems to be much smoother than with the Mikagami. Because they're children, they are able to get along well quickly if Fuku-chan and Mizuki-chan grow up well together. Maybe they will even be able to surpass a first-generation ship. Is it okay to build such a powerful ship? It's fine. They're both good girls. Since the masters were Seina and Kariko, there was no reason to expect that power to be used irresponsibly. However, we still have one issue to take care of. How do we respond to complaints and inquiries coming from various parts of the world? Sito remembered the earthquake and became silent. Mizuki hadn't been announced yet, neither had the fusing experiment with the Kamedake. It was a confidential matter which only the Supreme Council knew about. Moreover, it would cause a fuss if it was known that such a dangerous experiment was conducted at Tenju, which was the symbol of Jurai and could also be said to be the mother tree. There was no excuse for that, but thinking of how much had to be explained made Sito feel depressed. Let's wait a bit. Everyone stared at Sito as if they wanted her to hurry. Fine, I'll handle it now. Prepare to leave for the test flight. The bridge of the Kamedake was busy preparing to set sail. Sorry I'm late. Kariko took a seat. Kariko-san, your outfit. Kariko was in her normal uniform, but it seemed strange because she was still done up like she was when she was in her formal outfit. What? Why are you all looking at me? Why did you change? Well, we might encounter a battle. I can't move easily wearing that outfit. The crew giggled. Well, then, let's proceed with the final checks. Roger that. Fire control systems all green. There are no problems with the navigation system. Check synchronization with manual control. There are no problems from number 1 to number 10. There's a 12% rise in reaction link speed. Oh wow! That's amazing. Is it possible to move in real time even under those accelerated conditions? Thanks to Mizuki and Fuku-chan taking over different roles, it shouldn't be a problem. But our opponent is a lucky ship. We should be on our guard. The check items of the Kamedake turned green one after another. Finally, all checks were completed. Mia. Fuku meowed loudly, signaling the end of the tests. Systems are all green, Captain. Okay, load the schedule of the test route. The loading of the schedule is completed. Necessary items are all green. Minaho came on the screen. Sorry, Seina. Sito is still taking some time to do some things, so. Ms. Eri. Mikami had a wry smile as Eri, who was half crying, was being stroked by Mitoto behind Minaho on the monitor. Damn it, I'm really getting tired of everyone lately. Eri, accompanied by Minaho, came to the bridge of the Kamedake. She seemed like she had been scolded like a child. Yay! Mitoto picked up a broom but wasn't doing anything with it. She stroked Eri's head happily. I'm sorry, Seina, I know it may be a bit of a nuisance, but will you let us accompany you on the Kamadeke's test flight? Minaho put her hands together and begged. I don't mind, but why? I'm still a philosopher, you know. I'm just here to observe. Don't worry, I'll remain unobtrusive in a corner of the bridge. So please, just ignore me, Eri said. Ms. Mitoto, why are you here? I discovered her cleaning under the Imperial Palace a while ago. She needs to go back to the GP anyway. Please take her. I see. And Mikami also decided to come to keep her in check. I'm more than happy to have her, I don't mind. I'm happy. Thank you, Seina. She hugged Seina. Me? Minaho. The girl said. Anyways, we have a little time before our departure. Hakurin and the others are off taking a short break, but they'll be back soon. I suggest you all rest up too for now. Minaho took herself off of Seina before Kariko and the others removed her forcibly. Roger that. Well, we got everything together, Sito said. Ho ho. Sito, you look like you could use a little rest. I couldn't blame anyone for being exhausted after that, but luckily the hard part is out of the way. I'll just have to ignore how tired I am and hope we depart quickly. Oh! Sito, are you going with us? Amain asked. Naturally, Sito said with her arms folded. Wow, I never thought we'd be going on a ship together like this. Ahaha. Eri said happily in a loud voice. Oh, you can leave if you want, I just needed Mikami. You don't need to be here, Sito said smiling. No thanks. The mountain of documents piled up at my office is disgusting, ahahaha. Everyone was ignoring Eri. They were absorbed in work. Sorry I'm late. Yuzaki and Ringo arrived on the bridge. Ms. Yuzaki, Ringo, and Mikage, why are you here? We might encounter a lucky ship, so I figured we should increase your luck a little. But why bring Mikage-sama? Isn't it too dangerous for her? A battleship is like a cradle for a Jurian baby. Well, okay. If you say so. If you thought about it, it was useless to say anything to a stubborn mother who had already committed her child to Sana. But because both Sito and Minaho were affirming her decision, it seemed like common sense. Come on, what are we waiting for? Oh. Sito barked until she noticed Mitoto holding Sana and Fuku tightly. After Eri stopped crying, Mitoto, who hadn't been present, began stroking Sana's hair. Mitoto, are you going to release Sana and Fuku-chan soon? Well, maybe. Will you give me a broom? Mitoto looked at Sito like she was holding a grudge. But if she returned the broom, there was no telling where Mitoto would end up. On the other hand, Sana had to set the Kamidake's route, and Fuku had to take control of the ship. Oh! Sito looked around for alternatives and picked up Mikage from Yuzaki and presented her before Mitoto. Ms. Mitoto, can you please hold this child? Oh my! Despite being separated from her mother, Mikage gazed at Mitoto interestingly. Oh wow, how cute! Like Sito thought, Mitoto took her hands off of Sana and Fuku and hugged Mikage. Oh wow, is this your child? What's her name? Her name is Mikage. Yuzaki and Sito moved in front of Sana and Fuku to hide them from Mitoto and sent a signal behind them to get the show on the road. Okay, let's get to work. Meow. Mikage, oh wow. Sana quickly sat down in the captain's seat. Okay, let's take off. The Kamidake escaped from the gravity well of Jurai and did several short-distance jumps before it came outside of the Jurian solar system. We have access to the GP and Senoan data banks now. Academy and Galactic Federation headquarters. Access completed. Jurian access to the Supreme Council databank has been authenticated. Mikami, Eri, and Minaho each access the databases. Extraction of the latest data considered necessary is completed. Transfer it to the Mikagami and predict the lucky ship's route. Show the numerical value for each probability. Although the data sent to Mikagami was a huge amount, responses were displayed in a matter of minutes. The total number of candidates is about 10,000. I could narrow it down. Sito stared at the data. Let's choose from just a little over 60% of candidates. Sana, please choose. Sito-sama. This is still a test mission, so if possible, shouldn't we try to avoid sudden lucky ship encounters? Minaho said. Everyone except Sito sent an agreeing look. Fine, let's narrow it down to about 10%. Truly, Sito seemed to have reconsidered by looking at the faces of Fuku and Mikage. Sana, please choose. Okay. A relieved Sana looked at the displayed data. As expected, there was a considerable number of things with low probability. Sana chose one of them immediately. Route setting completed. Upper hyperspace jump loading started. Let's make tea before we jump in. The Kamidake began to prepare to jump, and they started a mini picnic. The mountain of tea and confections spreading throughout the Kamidake's bridge made it look like a girl's playroom. Sana, the only man, had an uncomfortable feeling about it. It's 5 minutes before we jump out. Everyone please stand by in your respective positions. Sana breathed a sigh of relief at Kariko's words. They all quickly threw away the remaining tea and sweets and got into place. After jumping out, we need to check every direction in space. If a target is not found, we'll make the next jump immediately. We've arrived. Please prepare for the shock of the jump out. Jump out in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, jump out. After a light impact, the Kamidake exited out into normal space. Omnidirectional check engage. Right as Kariko said that, an alarm sounded in the bridge. Enormous energy reaction. Directly in front of us. Is that? Everyone was staring at the monitor with open mouths and hearts pounding. Oh ha ha. Aha. Aha ha ha. Cuckoo ha ha ha. Oh ho 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 ah ha ha. Sito's laughter filled the bridge. Ah ha 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 ha. This certainly is a route that I hadn't predicted, but I knew since it was picked by Sena there was a reasonable expectation for this to happen. I invested several years of the Jurian national budget trying to find this. I can't help but laugh. I can't believe we've found this. Wow, check the ship and make sure. Kariko immediately started working despite Sito's laughter. I checked, there's only one similar candidate. Kariko was puzzled and looked back to Hakuren's team who were providing support. Kariko double-checked what they sent her again. What Kariko was looking at was video data taken by Jurai's information ship, Netsuke, dispatched as a training ship when Sena went for a training mission. Hey, Ryoko, is that? Still not convinced. Kariko looked at Ryoko and saw the look in her eyes. It is, ahahaha. Ryoko breathed deeply to calm herself as she looked at the planetary scale ship displayed before her eyes. There is no mistaking it. That's the center of the Daruma Guild, the moving planet fortress, the Big Daruma. Ryoko's affirmation finally revealed the name of the ship in front of them. They almost all cried at the same time. Daruma, who was sleeping in the master suite room of Recepshi, was woken by one of his aide women and briefed on the matter. What? The Kamedake has appeared. Daruma jumped out of the bed and launched the monitor to call the deputy president of the Big Daruma. What on earth was defensive surveillance doing? I'm sorry. They just arrived by jumping from a long distance, close by and very suddenly, like they knew our location, the vice president said with a somber expression. Do you think that Recepshi sold us out? No, that is not what I'm saying. But it is possible that it is a factor as to how we were discovered. At that time the door was knocked in and the general manager of Recepshi, Akashido, came in. Oh, general manager, what is the meaning of this? A warning was sent from the Kamedake saying, please leave the battle airspace immediately. At that point those who remain in Recepshi will be acknowledged as taking asylum, but all other vessels will be arrested or destroyed. You seem to be acting quite like someone who was prepared for this. Over the monitor, the deputy president glared at Akashido. You think we sold you out? How else do you explain this timing? Oh, stop it. If Recepshi was in the business of selling out its customers, it would have been out of business ages ago. There's a reason they were given the right to free navigation, and we have a long history. I will not have you take this any further. I appreciate your trust. Akashido thanked him deeply. So, that being said, we would like to guarantee the security of the customers. But would you at least consider becoming a shield for us to escape? We cannot let anything happen to Recepshi. We refuse to expose this ship to any danger. What? But that's against the customer policy, which is to protect customers who are aboard the Recepshi. Akashido said with a solid expression. You bastard! All right, stop. Daruma scoffed over his vicious vice president. Lorelei Sena has come to US. Let's view this situation another way. Here's the brave people of our guild's ultimate battleground. This is fate. We will bury the Kamedake with our combined strength. We'll guarantee the time for the crew members to return to their ships. I'll ask them to return immediately, Daruma said. Akashido quickly left the room as soon as he bowed. All right. Please tell all guild members who are gathered here. We will destroy Lorelei Sena. We'll crush our enemy. Down with the Kamedake. Haha. The vice president deeply bowed to Daruma. Like Daruma, the Kamedake's crew was still a bit confused. The Big Daruma has engaged a powerful jamming signal. Communication has become impossible. Hakuren, prior to the jamming, you sent notice to the GP and Jurai? Kariko asked. Notice of the situation has been sent. Kariko was relieved. Although it was a problem that communication was blocked, they had plenty of experience on how to deal with that thanks to the situation with the first Kamedake. We're receiving a laser communication from Recepshi. Long time no see, Miss Sito. In the confusion, Makihi gracefully appeared on the monitor. At her appearance, the bridge which had been frightened suddenly became quiet. Oh, Makihi, so what's your response? Recepshi has prepared for the move. However, we are conducting business at the moment, so I would like to have some time. Well, fine, let's wait an hour, but if at any time the Big Daruma shows signs of making a jump, Even if Recepshi is there, we will start our attack. Thank you, Miss Sito. Makihi bowed and then slowly raised her face and glanced at the bridge crew. You're the captain of the Kamadake, Sena Yamada, aren't you? Me? Yes, I am. I'm Ms. Makihi of Recepshi. I've heard highly of your name for such a long time now. It's truly regrettable this is our first encounter. If there's a next opportunity, then by all means, we'll be gladly waiting to have you as a customer. Makihi said to Sena, and then she threw a kiss with lustful eyes and cut off communication. The surrounding women began to get riled up all at once. Hey, what's the matter with everyone? It seemed like normal business talk to Sena, but he could feel everyone being upset. Captain, do you know that person? No, that's the first time I've seen her, Sena answered. The women gathered together at the corner of the bridge all together and started talking. What do you think, Jayakiran? Those are the eyes of a woman who without a doubt wants to hook herself to Sena. But why? Because the family of Recepshi is keen on cultivating a competent next generation, and they're interested in making talented children. Makihi has 10 children, as far as I know, but only 2 were with her official husband. The other children have different fathers. Sito informed them. The ladies stood together all at once. Okay, then why our captain? Do they want Sena's ability? His biased probability? Isn't that too dangerous? Perhaps they want it for the mental strength that comes with it? But aren't the negatives too big? I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sita said, looking around at the women in the circle and smiling wryly. What do you mean, Lady Sito? Whether it's unfortunate or not, it would help to build dramatic flair. Sena's bias and unhappiness are spices that will raise drama and, well, the sex appeal of an actor. Sita-sama. The Recepshi has started moving. Sena called. The women returned to their spots. I'm a bit worried. We're about to take on a major battle, but we've had no test fights, Kariko said, looking at Mitoto and Mikage. I'm not worried. Yuzaki smiled. How about you, Ms. Mitoto? I'm not worried about it either. We've already come this far. And we're riding the best masterpiece Washu invented, the sister ship of Ryooki, who fought an equal fight against Jurai. The other side should be worried. The pirate ships began to formulate a strategy as they launched from the big Daruma. If we can cripple them, then the Daruma Guild will be destroyed. Sito couldn't hold back her joy. I'm hungry. The fleet will take a while to get deployed, so let's have a light meal and take a break for now. Listen, brave warriors. Now before our eyes, the Kamadake rides against us with Lorelei Sena inside it. Now is our chance to kill that bastard and crush the Kamadake. Let's make the Daruma Guild name known throughout the galaxy. The space pirates who were listening to the speech from Daruma cheered. But mostly because they were all still a bit drunk from the party on Recepshi. We confirmed the link with all the ships. Attack posture is set. Awesome. Great. Behold the battlefield of our great fleet. Tell them we're ready. Tell the Recepshi they can go. When they get out of the combat zone, we'll begin the battle. Recepshi shows no sign of jumping. Well, it's a big event. They probably want to stay for the show, Eri said. They're going to show this fight. Wow, are they going to be okay? What about us? When is backup coming? Sito watched Hakuren, sending a sign to Kariko to sit with her palm. I sent a signal to Jurai, so they should be aware of the situation, but they won't be here for quite a while because of the scale of the situation. Even with the super hyperspace navigation of the royal ships, it would take considerable time to arrive. In other words, this battle was between an entire fleet and one ship, the Kamadake. We'll be fine. Cleanup is just going to be a hassle. Sito said, sure of victory. Losing wasn't even a possibility to her. Ho ho ho, indeed, and that big fleet is going to require a lot of on-site investigation. Post-processing, such as investigation and transportation, required a lot of manual labor. Recepshi will leave the combat airspace soon. High-energy reaction from the Daruma fleet. In terms of position, Daruma was moving to give Recepshi's customers a better view. But the readings only gave Sito more confidence. Ahahaha. I'll show you the real power of the Kamadake and a second-generation royal tree. Let's get them, Fuku-chan. Hey, Sita-sama? What about our captain? Kariko pointed to Sena. Sena. Can you please let me command the offense? But... Okay, fine. I leave it to you. Sana said after checking silently if it was okay with Eri and Mikami. Thank you, Sita-sama. Reception is outside of the battle zone. All right, let's get this party started. Sito fanned out her favorite fan as she began her attack on the big Daruma.